One of the best ways to deal with guilt and shame is to suck the energy out of them, transmute it, and use it to power yourself. How are you going to do that? Well, guilt and shame makes you walk with your head down and your shoulders hunched over, and you can't look anybody in the eye because you're ashamed of what you've done. Listen, are you sincere about your apology? Did you intend for that to happen? Listen, even if you were deliberate in the hurt, you did it. And it's okay. Acknowledge that. You don't allow what you've done to hold you prisoner. Because so long as it holds you prisoner, now you have to live as a prisoner. So now you want to transmute that guilt and shame. Why? Because you don't want to be that kind of person anymore. Guilt and shame has a lot of energy. Use that energy to do what? Create a new habit, a new behavior, a new way of thinking, a new way of speaking, a new way of feeling. That's what you do with guilt and shame. You transmute it. Just like in that Neville Goddard lecture where it says, the potter at the wheel. If you shape something and it's not quite what you want it to be, what does the potter do? He doesn't just cut it off and throw it out. No, he wets his hands and he reshapes the clay. That's what you're doing right now. You're molding and shaping guilt and shame. So the best way to deal with that is to reshape it into something else, which is a new habit. How do you want to behave instead? Do you want to be more considerate? Do you want to have a better discernment where you can look at a situation and say, well, if I do this, that's going to happen. So no, that's not a good idea. If I do that, that's going to happen. You know what? That's a better idea. You see, practicing discernment. But what tends to happen with humanity is we wear our guilt and shame. We're martyrs. We wear it with a sense of pride sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, not intentionally though, it's just something we hold on to. So, do your best to transmute the energy from your guilt and shame and use it to fuel you and power you up to start making your new habits. Because here's what's happening. You have this guilt and shame, yeah? And you're behaving in a particular way that now becomes abhorrent to the person you're sharing a space with. Not because they don't like you or want to be around you, but it's the behavior fueled by guilt and shame. So Neville Goddard says to revise. Go back and you find the thing that caused you the guilt and shame and you change it. You say, okay, why would I do that? And you insert the new behavior you want to do so that the next time something happens, you don't have to deal with guilt and shame in the present or the future. By going backwards in the past, because past, present, future, all the same, by going back there, finding the root cause of that guilt and shame, and then associating it with a new behavior so that the next time you do something, you don't get guilt and shame for it anymore because you've already fixed it. You're no longer guilty. You're no longer ashamed. Does this make sense? Let me know.